CNN, the most trusted name in news.
All right, if you're selling your home in this market, it may require more than just putting up a for sale sign, much more. Kendra Todd is a Yahoo Finance columnist and real estate broker. Kendra, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right, some of these incentives are crazy. You talked about folks who are giving away plastic surgery. For goodness sakes, isn't this over the top?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a difference between getting creative and getting your house sold. We're seeing things like people offering mineral rights on the land to houses, even writing buyers into their inheritance when the sellers pass on. And these are very extreme. There's a difference between extreme incentives and effective ones.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's start with some incentives that might make some sense. What are the kinds of things that you might add in that would just sweeten that offer enough to get a buyer?
Jerry, there's one thing people are looking for. It's show me the money. It all comes down to common currency. Whatever's going to reduce the bottom line. In today's economic climate, people are concerned about the economy, and they want to know that they can pay less for a house, pay less for their monthly mortgage, and get a lower price, period. So anything to reduce that bottom line.
Well, you've got reduce the price, paying points, down payment aid. Those are all kind of common, and a few other ideas you had in there. But look, at the end of the day, isn't it the price of the house that really matters? Isn't that the most important thing to consider?
Absolutely. People don't want a plasma television. They want a lower mortgage payment. And so I know that people feel like they have to get creative in these desperate times, but get creative with the bottom line, period. Reduce the price. It's the #1 thing that, sellers don't want to do, especially because a lot of them are upside down. In many cases, their mortgage payments and their loan amount is more than the house is worth. So it's a tough situation.
Very tough situation. All right, let's talk about some of those gimmicky offers you've seen out there. Tell me a little bit about those.
Well, these gimmicky incentives really started with developers, and they used to work in past real estate markets, but not so much today.
I want the free car. Give me the free car.
I would love a free Jaguar. Who wouldn't? Or a cruise or a 5-star vacation. But the bottom line is that this doesn't get houses sold. If you look at the numbers, it just doesn't work. It might get more foot traffic through the door, but people are going to buy the house for the best price.
Let's talk a little more about, the kinds of strategizing you have to do. Now, a friend of mine trying to sell a condo in Vegas. He said he priced way below market because prices were dropping every single month, and the last thing he wanted was to have that deal fall out of bed at the closing table. Anything else you can tell people to just get that extra edge if they're selling in this market?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, from a buyer's perspective, if you're looking at a piece of property that has all these incentives attached to it, calculate their cash value. Go to the seller and ask them to reduce the sales price by amount of all the incentives, because you have to be careful. Whenever there's an incentive added to a property, it's probably getting paid for somewhere down the line. It's probably not that free.
Okay, so this is the buyer's side of the equation. You want to make sure you understand the real value of some of this stuff, because some of this is not worth very much at the end of the day, right?
No, it's not. But from the seller's perspective, to make sure a deal sticks, you can do things like contribute to mortgage payments down the road, paying for a certain amount of property taxes or homeowners association dues, home warranties. There's a lot of things that you can do to get that deal to stick so that the buyer doesn't get cold feet at the closing table.
The last thing you want to have happen. Kendra Todd, thanks for that advice. We appreciate it.
All right.